sometimes, our family can affect us. And sometimes I see good parenting, and a kid turns out going in the wrong direction. Or sometimes I see bad parenting, and a kid might turn out an amazing person. So like, what's the best parenting method to get the best out of a kid?
Well, relationships are so dynamic. Meet a lot of people that were incredible. Like Mike Tyson was on a weigh-in line with me when he was 15 and I was 16 at the Ohio State Fair. It was a big national tournament in boxing. And I lost in the semifinals to a Marine. He wins the whole thing. But I got an experience to see Tyson because of my dad pushing. And I remember Kevin Rooney introducing Tyson to my father, and Tyson used to bow. He used to bow to adults. He was respectful. My father said he was the most respectful person that he had ever, met. It was like this. I remember just looking at him when we were all kind of like in this circle, and Tyson used to kiss people on the cheek back then. If my father hadn't pushed me so hard, I wouldn't have had those opportunities, because the apprehension is to not do those kind of things. Someone could hurt you. I got a concussion in fighting the English champion in England. I got a concussion. I came back, and I was fighting someone that ended up later on. I watched him, here in Vegas for the World Championships. And but at the same time, I remember Phil Jackson. I beat him. He went in on Showtime and fought, twice for the heavyweight championship of the world. And if I had not been pushed, that's not going to happen. I had my mom on the other side who kind of helped to balance that out a little bit. Someone to talk to, someone that would be supportive, unconditionally. So I had that. So I was lucky. A lot of kids out there, they have a single parent maybe, and if that single parent's overly zealous or perhaps not pushing you enough, or that could come in there. The other thing that's interesting is, like in my profession, as a mental health provider, to some extent you have to experience some of those things to be able to do better therapy, or better programming. What we do right now is performance programming. So my father drank a lot of alcohol, and you do terrible things or silly things, when you're intoxicated, and my dad did that. So it's kind of interesting too, like that bit of adversity, you kind of get over it if you can get over it, and then if you have people you can talk to and stuff. And I think that makes a big difference as well. So the answer to your question, I don't know that I can answer it, because there's so many dynamics that are going on.
Yeah.
I had a guy, almost like a friend of my father, that says to me, you don't have to be like your father. It resonated with me. I didn't understand it at the time, but later on, that was really something. My father also said, used to tell me when I was a little kid, you have a destiny. I don't know what it is, but it's to be someone great at whatever you do. And he used to repeatedly tell me that. I believed it. So if there was anything that would come in, I thought of it only as like an obstacle. And I don't know if he doesn't say that, do I have that same attitude? You know what I mean? Like in other words, I think life is so complicated that I don't think that there's a formula necessarily. But when you start to look at all these factors, I think in general, we have a tendency to want to do good. I believe that. And, anyway, it's just kind of interesting. I think it's a beautiful question you're asking. I mean, you're obviously, it's nice to talk with someone that knows what they're talking about and that can spur off, important factors that really are meaningful, So
Yeah.
anyway, that's how
Yeah.
I feel about
Yeah, that question, I thought about it for a while. I'm like, you know what? I gotta ask this one.
it. Yeah. I'm glad you did. I feel comfortable with it.